Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. My name is GBay99. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Today, we are back with another video where today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're doing a bit of a continuation from yesterday's video. I know I got a lot of the feedback that you guys were leaving where you were saying that sometimes just sitting and looking at my face for a solid 12 minutes is not the most entertaining thing in the world. I think in future Q&As I will start putting gameplay in the background and whatnot of our videos to make them a little more visually appealing. But today we're doing something a little bit different, and I don't really want that to impede what I'm talking about. So even though I understand that today's video might be a little bit boring, if there's any video that I want you to sit through, even though it is a little boring, it would be this video, even if you're just listening to it in the background while you're playing a game of League or RuneScape or something. Anyway, though, with that little intro being out of the way, I want to start today's video by opening that package I showed you guys at the end of yesterday's. So I had no idea this was going to be so big, so you can just take a look at it now. That was an Italian poster advertising the 1980 release of my favorite film of all time, Stardust Memories. When you ask someone what their favorite film is, there's basically two different types of answers you're going to get. The first one is someone might say The Godfather Part 2 or Casablanca or Citizen Kane, films that we've already all collectively agreed are some of the greatest films of all time, but I don't really like it when someone gives that kind of an answer. That doesn't really say anything about the person. When you ask someone what their favorite film is of all time, you aren't asking them, what do you think is the best, most well-crafted film ever? You're sort of asking them a personal question. What is a film that you have some sort of sentimental meaning behind? What's a film that it means more to you than the average film? The reason that Stardust Memories is my favorite film of all time is because I relate to it on a weirdly personal level. It feels as though so much of my life is told through that film, and it's a joy for me to watch every single time I put it on. I've mentioned the film on my YouTube channel a couple of times, but I'll re-summarize for those of you who've forgotten about it or who haven't seen it or don't remember those videos. Basically what it is it's a film about a director. It's a film that's written, starring, and directed by Woody Allen, and it's about a director that is sort of similar to Woody Allen in that he got really popular and successful from making really funny movies, but he's wanting to transition into stuff that's a little more serious. The film follows two big storylines. The first one is one that sort of follows his love life, where he has this beautiful woman in his life, Isabelle, who's this nice, sweet, French, kind, caring woman who's just a joy to be around, and she seems perfect, and for all accounts, he should be madly in love with her. But for some reason, he can't get this one woman he used to see out of his mind. This woman named Dory, who was a nightmare, who was just 28 days out of the month. She would be awful to be around. She would be so awful and give him so much stress in his life. But for the 2 days that she was nice, it felt like she made it all worth it. There's this one scene in the film where, as I said, he's a director, and he's at this film festival where he's showing one of his films, one of the characters' films, where he's playing this doctor who's trying to perform this operation. He's this doctor who's never been able to fall in love, but he has these two women that excite him in different ways. One is named Doris, who's this kind and sweet and caring, nice person who's just amazing to be around, but doesn't do anything. He's not attracted to her sexually in any kind of way possible. And then he has this other woman, Rita, who's this beautiful, amazing, sexual animal in the bed, but is just a shrew, awful to be around, just an absolute awful person to be around outside of that relationship. So being a doctor, he takes the brain of Doris and then puts it into Rita's body. So Rita is now this amazing, beautiful person.
And everything went perfectly. I switched their personalities, and I took all the badness and put it over there, and I made Rita into a warm, wonderful, charming, sexy, sweet, giving, mature woman. And then I fell in love with Doris.
I know the biggest demographic I have on YouTube is males between the age of 18 and 24, and the second biggest demographic is between 24 and 35. So I'm not too sure how many of you guys have been in a serious relationship or anything. I mean, we are gamers here, let's be honest. But that just rings so true for me. Just because someone is kind and sweet and nice in every way possible, it doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna fall in love with them. Sometimes you can't help but get attracted to a person that just gives you a hard time. It's kind of hard to describe if you haven't experienced it yourself, but it's just something that rings true for me for some reason, and I could ramble about it for days. But the second story arc is the one that I really identify with more than anything else, where it tells the story of this director as he tries to interact with his fans. He has all these people that are his fans, that have seen all his movies, that come up to him throughout the film and say, I love all your films, my wife has seen all your films, I own everything that you've ever made, you've changed my life, they're all beautiful, I love your films, especially the early funny ones, but he has no idea how to respond or how to interact with these people because they're strangers. They all know him, or they think they know him in his life through his work, but at the end of the day, he has no idea who these people are. He's never met them before, and he has all these people coming up and saying how they've changed his life over and over and over, but that's a comment that gets diminished. It diminishes in value each time that you hear it, and he can't help but lose value. It's really difficult for him to interact with these people. He has all these people come up to him throughout the film that say they want him to donate to some cancer foundation or to some diabetes foundation or to some museum, help save some museum, or they want him to come speak at some film festival or some film school, or they want him to come to their father's restaurant and take a picture or something. And he wants to say yes, to do the right thing and say yes to these people's requests. They aren't asking him to do anything immoral. They're asking him to donate to charity. But he can't possibly do all of this. He can't possibly save every whale that's going extinct and every person that's struggling with every disease. I mean, he wants to do the right thing, but it's so much to ask. He can do his best to fulfill all these requests, but there are all these people that are swarming him, and it's hard for him to interact with his fans because it's such a weird relationship. And then there's this question that gets brought up, which is, who is he making films for? Is he making films for his fans or for himself? Because he wants to make these weird, artistic, dark movies that are like him trying to explore his ideas and creative process artistically, but his fans just want him to make them laugh. Recently on YouTube, our channel has been exploding beyond levels that I ever thought it would even be possible for us to reach. This is us, by the way. We're in this together at this point. There's like 400,000 of you guys. For the past 7 days, there was only a single day that we haven't got more than 1,000 new subscribers each day. Those are ridiculous numbers. That's like real YouTuber statistics. And lately, I can't help but wonder if those numbers are going as high as they are because I've been suppressing that urge that I have to make videos that are weird and artistic and not League of Legends gameplays. You know, making videos like this where I just sit and talk to you guys about stuff that's on my mind, or making videos like the RuneScape videos, or like the videos like the 0 minute 0 second Birth of a Blank video. Weird experimental short films on YouTube and gaming and League of Legends and all this stuff. I'm not too sure how many of you guys have seen the Bo Burnham new special that's on Netflix, Make Happy, but I watched it a number of times and I think it's absolutely fantastic. Towards the end of it, I'm sure you guys remember, he gives a little bit of a speech to the audience where he talks about how whenever you're a comedian or a writer or a performer in any creative capacity, you're always told write what you know. But that's a really difficult thing for young people like him and myself, where all you really know is performing, is YouTube. I started playing RuneScape when I turned 11 years old, I started playing League of Legends when I turned 15 years old, and I started making YouTube videos at 18 years old. Outside of that and school, there's really not much that I know or that I feel like I can talk about or relate to the common man. So sometimes I get these urges like Woody Allen's character where I want to create something for myself, something creative and cool and weird and fun and experimental. But if I'm gonna do that, then I ultimately end up making videos about YouTubers, about League of Legends, about video games. That's all I really know. Videos like this are something that I kind of want to be able to make every once in a while, something where I just talk about what's on my mind, and I feel like this is a healthy thing for me to do, to explore these ideas that are always rushing around my head, even if it isn't something that's strictly for your guys' entertainment. But at the end of the day, it's like a balancing act. If I make too many of these videos, then I'll lose the growth and the success that we've been having on YouTube lately, and it's a really weird predicament that I feel like I'm in. The performer-audience relationship is such a weird relationship that I can't think of anything stranger than it in actual life, in like a real person's life. I mean, it's such a strange thing to deal with. I think at the end of the day, I'm gonna try and not be scared to make videos like this, even if it is once a week or once every 2 weeks, once a month or something, a video where I just open up to you guys or have a vlog or a weird experimental short film or something. Like, the cool thing about YouTube is that this is a back and forth dialogue, right? There's no other medium out there, film, TV shows, theater. There's nothing that lets you have a back and forth conversation with your audience better than YouTube and the internet. So I guess this video is sort of me trying to open up and talk to you guys about how I know there's a lot of things that you guys expect from my YouTube channel, and I know that you want to be entertained every single time you see me pop up in your subscription feed, but at the same time, I want to be able to make videos for myself just as much as I'm making videos for you guys, and make videos that I feel like if I have the urge or the need to make something weird and experimental and creative, I hope that you guys will understand that. Anyway, I think I'm starting to repeat myself and ramble a little bit here, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off there. I hope you guys all enjoyed listening to this. Thank you very much if you managed to actually make it to the end of this video. Tomorrow I'm gonna be back with another League of Legends gameplay video, and I hope that I can entertain you as best as I possibly can. And even if I can't, I hope you'll stick with me a little while. Anyway though, until then, thank you very much for watching, good luck in solo queue, and have a wonderful day.